All right, we reached the end. This is the end. This is it. So this last video, we're going over Airgel and using our stencils. Now, you're probably thinking like, well, I mean, if I'm doing this, I'm doing that. It's the same. There's some nuances. The Airgel handpiece specifically does not have the gasket on the end where you can control pressure or the needle pullback, right? It doesn't have that. So I'm just showing you some workarounds that you can do with that in order to control the spray. Like I said in the video with the acrylic airbrush paint, I do not mess with the compressor. I just use the compressor on the settings that it was on when it came out of the box. So a lot of my control is really with the trigger and how far I pull it back. And this one's kind of messy, but that's not the point. So like this airbrush handpiece does not have the little gasket that it has like with the acrylic one. So my pressure control is literally all like with my finger and how far I do or don't pull it back. It looks like I'm not moving, but it literally I am. Here's the full like closed, and then yeah, ever so slight. Pay attention to my hand. Watch the video like while you're watching it, which is what I tell my students when you're watching the courses. Like, okay, I'll just do it and do it with you. You should actually watch it 3 times, 3 different ways. Once, watch it to watch it. Not trying to do it the same time that I'm doing it, but watching it to watch it. Second, watch it and practice along with me. Third, watch it and actually watch my hands, watch my finger, listen to the words that I'm saying, because what I'm giving you is the tea on how to control everything. So the next video slide coming up after this, of course, little introduction part, is going to be how to use our Airgel with our stencils, a few nuances that I discovered over my tenure of working with Airbrush and with Airgel, and how you can avoid the pitfalls that came to me when I was doing it for my first time. I appreciate you watching the video. Like I said, my name is Chloe. I've been doing airbrush for 10 years, been doing those for 21 years, coming up on 22. I need to quit. Coming up on 22. I appreciate you watching my videos. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and share. And then we'll do a little recap at the end. And there are going to be a bunch of different resources down at the bottom to help you out even. Okay, so we're gonna grab our nail tip, and this one is matte top coated, and grab a stencil, and we're gonna do the Airgel. The application with Airgel is the same as it is with the acrylic airbrush paint. Why? Because we're doing the same motions, we're just using a different product. I'm gonna test out on the hand. The only thing that is different with these Airgel hand pieces is that they do not have where you can control the spray with the little gasket. Okay. So I'm always going to start on the outside of my stencil. Over here just to see where my spray is and control it. And then to go around, we're going to keep it nice and soft. And there we go. So then we went around and it's nice and soft. Now you can still mess this up because it's not going to dry. It must be cured. But let's move to the next application thing that we did. The other way that we do it is when we're doing our ombre. It's the same type of application. We're just keeping it light. Now, you see how I'm spraying too much and it's like puddling at the bottom of my stencil? That also tells me that the color is, yeah, I'm empty. That's really what it is. I'm out of color. Oops. So since I'm out of color, I'm just going to add a smidge more color. 1, 2, 3. Just 3 little drops and like 2 drops of dilution. You don't need that much. Cool. And when we stir it, we're doing this. Just mixing it. Cool. All right, perfect. So we're going to keep our spray very soft, like a soft pull on my trigger. See how soft that is? See how slight of a movement, like a millimeter. Still up and down, side to side. And remember, you have to cure in between. And so we still get a nice soft ombre. This is not cured. What it is doing is slowly evaporating. And so your color is going to stay a little bit easier. So if you pop the round, technically you're going to be able to be like, oh, okay, it's not that bad. But this one is brand new. And look, you can still smear it. Okay, so that is just your how to go about using a stencil and stencil placement. We always want to keep a few things in mind. One, we want to keep our stencils in our stencil saver book. Two, when we clean our stencils, we can use a little bit of gel cleanse, or a little bit of our like alcohol or whatever. Not too much though, because you don't want to flood the stencil and then it starts eating away at the sticky part. Right? We do not clean our stencils with acetone because it does ruin them. Acetone is a remover of solvents and colors, i.e., also the glue that's on the back if it seeps under. And then finally, Airgel does need to be cured, and every single application of any airbrush product should be done over a mat for the smoothest application possible. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them below. Okay, so now you understand 100% what I was saying when I was talking about the airbrush handpiece with Airgel, how to use it with your stencils, how to make sure that you're getting your design as crisp and clean as you want. And I appreciate you for watching this whole series. It was 6 total videos. I still might do one more with another airbrush handpiece that I just got. I just have to think about if I have the time for it. I really appreciate you watching. Like, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. And thank you for joining me on this series of how to airbrush easier, better, and quicker. Bye.